My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to.
Today, from Lumen Field in Seattle, it's the NFC Championship Game. Seattle Seahawks taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the Pacific Northwest, the home of the 12s, and they are in full roar as you get a look inside Lumen Field in Seattle. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. The former MVP in his 12th season leading them out. He's got more rushing touchdowns than any quarterback in NFL history. Cam Newton.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. From the 35 on second down, Newton. High throw, but the catch is made. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. Back to throw, Newton. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
That is incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Flushed out right. He completes it right side to White. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. Myers' kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
And one nice thing you can always say about Kirk Cousins is that he's consistent. Always puts up nice numbers each and every year. If there is a downside to his game, it's been the lack of playoff success. All in all, though, a formidable starting quarterback at a time in the league where it's tough to find your franchise guy.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got Smith here. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now Cousins. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Jordan Berry out to punt on 4th down. Fielded just inside the 20. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. That good for 22 and a 1st down. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Newton. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. They'll run it here. This is James White. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. On 2nd down, here's Penny. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. They call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Myers' kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They are still in search of their first points in the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. Throwing is Cousins. Completes it to the fullback, Ham. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And this one complete to Reed. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Cousins again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. 3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. First down, here's Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't it?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Man open, it's Goodwin. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Here's Newton. That's caught, and again it's Goodwin. Touchdown, Seahawks. Marquise Goodwin, 35 yards. And the Seahawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it now 13-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Minnesota. One semi-factor, if you want to call it that was brought up in the papers this morning here, Charles. You got a dome team on the road in a cold weather environment, first round of the playoffs in January. Do you think that's a big deal?
Ordinarily, I say no. But in this situation, because you're used to that perfectly controlled environment, some coaches will want their teams exposed to it. If you're coming from a warm weather place, and, even getting outside of your dome doesn't really help you, a lot of times they'll go on the road a little bit earlier. Go to a cold weather place, go to a place where there's a little bit of weather and practice there that week before the game to try and simulate the conditions they expect come game day.
After the sack on first down, Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. This time they stay on the ground. And some room to maneuver. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Cousins on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and the deficit will hold pat at 13.
I don't care who you are. 60 yards is a very ambitious attempt. Hard to make even in practice in the best of conditions. And now, worst of all, you give the other guys the ball to start their drive at midfield.
A final shot before the break. Newton steps away to his left. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, one half remains in the battle to see who will take home that George Halas Trophy and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, time to look ahead to the AFC Championship coming up later today. And it should be a great one as well, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills doing battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. So with that, let's get you right back out for the second half, as one of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. To find out who, let's turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Halas Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. And they have work to do in this second half if they want to earn that berth to the Super Bowl.
And I'm pretty sure this is where their coaches at halftime were saying don't panic, and then demonstrating it by not making a lot of drastic changes to the game plan. Let's just get back to doing what we've been doing all year long. That should be more than good enough.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Rolling to it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Cody Barton there to bring him down.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
Once more, it's the fullback hand. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Cousins. Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Trying to get away, but could not. Alton Robinson drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Here's Jordan Berry now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. It's taken to the 26. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Newton now to throw. And that is incomplete. We're in the third quarter of the NFC title game. This is 2nd and 10. Here's Newton. Eluding the pressure right. Complete to Hilton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 10 more there and another first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Chandon Sullivan. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 41. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards. Throwing, Cousins. And finding Emmanuel Sanders here. And they'll get this down to the 10. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To throw is Cousins. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's 2nd and goal.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown Vikings. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 13-7. So that drive, 4 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Fielded right around the 8. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have this all the way out to the 50-yard line. Excellent field position.
That return gets all the way to midfield, so we know the field position is absolutely flipped at this point. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I might think about blitzing right now to try and take field position back.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll start out here with a jet sweep.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Running out of the gun with White. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains for the right to go on to the Super Bowl. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. Down to about the 32.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he's trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Newton on 3rd down. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Penny will take this into the end zone for a Seahawk touchdown. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
getting his guys ready to go for the two-point try. Cam looking to throw. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the two-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on two-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a two-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they are in need of points here, no doubt about that, with a Super Bowl berth on the line and trailing here in the fourth quarter. This possession, gigantic. A gain of 3, second down. Now Cousins. Getting this into the hands of his tight end, Zach Davidson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down. Cousins to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sanders. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Again, it's Cousins. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. To throw again on second down. Cousins. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Here's Cousins. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, they can smell victory, partner. They can see it on the horizon, but certainly we're not done yet here. Defense still has 3 timeouts, and obviously this is a very slim lead they're holding on to.
And let's face it, the easiest way to get this done, challenge your ground game. Challenge your offensive line, your tight ends, your receivers, anyone who's going to lay down a block. Don't let there be penetration because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and maybe bring extra people to the ball. If you can do that, make them burn their timeouts, run out the clock, life will be good. But if you really want to gamble a little bit, a quick play action, quick throw, might be able to get it done. Just make sure it's not incomplete and stop the clock.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll try and run some clock here with Penny. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. They will take a knee here and cue the celebrations. They are off to the Super Bowl. And the crowd on its feet, and understandably so. They are Super Bowl bound after taking that knee.
How about the ability to celebrate not just winning a championship, but to do it with your fans on your home field? What a great collaboration for them all year long.
The Seahawks are the NFC champs. Time for us to sign off. Thank you so much for watching, and good night, everybody. And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.